Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Let's get straight into the chart. Remember, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just for fun. Let's start with Nasdaq. As long as we are above the 20, this blue line, light blue line, the 20 EMA, I'm bullish on Nasdaq. My question was in my previous video, are we developing a head and shoulder pattern, which would be a bearish signal, bearish pattern when we break down below the neckline, so below this this long red candlestick. So if we break down below, I will pay close attention to this, how this develops. But until then, I'm bullish. Of course, we need to break above this line, have a strong candlestick above there, because then probably we will destroy this pattern. Okay, going over to Sp500, daily chart on Sp500. We are above the 50 EMA and playing ping pong between the 50-day EMA, which is this red line, and the light blue line is the 20-day EMA. We are most probably on our way there. Once we break above there and can stay above there, then I'm going to be bullish on Sp500. Until then, unless we break down below and have a body candle closing below the red line 50-day EMA, I would play this. I would long this till this area, so till until actually 4,638, but it's December, Santa Claus is coming to town, so you never know when we have a huge breakout to the upside. Dow Jones, daily chart on Dow Jones doesn't look good. We broke down. In fact, here we had this head and shoulder pattern, and in fact it has played out. I measured it and we came all the way down, so this is a valid pattern. This was a valid pattern. Head and shoulder patterns are dangerous patterns for longs. It played out, and now we are, yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. Most probably will go back to at least to the 50-day EMA on Dow Jones. We need to break above there in order for me to say that we are bullish again. Going over to German index, that's the daily chart on the German index, DAX, DAX. We are below the 50-day EMA, not a good sign. We have all these red candlesticks, and yet 15,015, which is, I believe, around the weekly. Was it 20 or 50 EMA on the weekly? 20, probably 20 EMA. I'm just lazy to go back to have a look at it, but it's holding strong. So 15,015 is an area of support for me. Until we are above there, we can go back to the 50-day EMA anytime on the German index, which is 15,700. So I would buy the dips. Of course, we had this wick down below, so when we get below 14,910, that's a bad sign. That would be a bad sign. But this area is holding nicely right now. Okay, so that's the German index. Let's go over to Nikkei, the Japanese index, daily chart, and we look terrible, but most probably this M pattern, which broke down, played out, and now it's not necessary for us to go further down unless we look at this big M pattern on the weekly, which I think I measured it, and right now I see a triangle developing because it was falling down. it's usually, we are going to continue the trend downwards. But if we break above 28,800, then of course this pattern is not valid anymore. So on the Japanese index, this area is holding right now as support here for 27,340 up to maybe I should draw here an area of support and watch that, because if we above this it's more bullish, I mean at least for the short term. Below that area it's like more downside could be coming. As you can see, this is an area of support here on the Japanese index, so we need to see that and watch that. And here's this other area here. Okay, so right now we are between these two areas. All right, going over to Russell. Russell, of course, disappointed me because this seems to have been a false breakout to the upside and we broke down. Yeah, when we break below this level, then of course it's a bad sign, it's a bearish sign. So right now we are here in this area, but below the 50-day EMA, that's a bad sign, indicating that we can go further down any moment, but we can also come back up to this area, to the 50-day EMA. We have always done that in the past, so most probably in the near future we are going to come back to 2,300. Let's go over to India. Nifty, the Indian index. That's the daily chart on Nifty. Yeah, and we are developing a triangle pattern. Usually we break out to the downside because we were falling. It's a bearish, we used to be bearish. Like we had sort of triangle pattern here as well, and we broke down. So we need to watch where we break. Of course, we can break to the upside as well, but usually we break to the downside. We need to watch this here, this triangle pattern here where we break out. And the most we are below the 50-day EMA. That's not a very good sign, but I think sooner or later we will go back there, and 17,650 is where the 50-day EMA is at right now. That's all for now. See you next time.